Natural Born Settlers is a short documentary that shed light on the issue of Israeli settlers beyond the Green Line. It is an adaptation of the documentary called Unsettling, directed by Israeli filmmaker Zaki. The mode of the short documentary can be identified as participatory, and it revolves around the encounters of Zaki with the settlers. Instead of observing the settlers from a distance or examining them through the lens of media, Zaki unwillingly yet purposefully set foot on one of the West Bank settlements in search for personal encounters with the settlers. In doing so, Zaki became the main character that led the audience into their world so that we can both gain an insight into their lives and perspectives. Despite being discouraged by rejections and hostilities at first, the settlers eventually get used to her camera, which then create windows of opportunity for Zaki to engage in thoughtful conversations. Zaki clearly became a part of the community not just by living among them but also by involving herself in the discussion of local issues, such as the family attack she heard from the radio. This documentary is all about investigating the lives and perspectives of the younger generation of Israeli settlers who grew up in the West Bank area. Zaki approached the subject as a complete stranger, with no understanding of their motives and even held strong opinion against them, viewing them as obstacle to peace. Despite this, Zaki has the desire to break down such preconceptions and get to know the society through individuals. Therefore, Zaki approached the subjects in a friendly and vulnerable way, as we can see from the documentary. She appears to them by the coffee table and talks to them about private lives, experience in growing up, and opinions without any intention to hide. This allows the interviewee to open up and freely confess their thoughts. This method has led Zaki to moments after moments of surprise, as some settlers agree that they are indeed causing conflicts while another one identifies herself as a fascist, who shows no concerns to the other side. Therefore, Zaki's method of approach as a stranger to the topic helps us to see beyond the lens of preconceptions and that present us with a raw image of who the settlers really are. The style of natural born settlers is consistent with Zaki's previous documentary, My Cursor Shifts, The Woman in Sync, and The Woman in Sync. In terms of filming technique, Zaki applied the method of the abandoned camera. This technique allows no operator behind the cameras during the interview session. This in order to achieve a natural conversation. Zaki also includes shots of her adjusting the camera in the documentary while the interviewee was completely aware of it. This technique aligns with her style of producing documentaries as she immersed herself in an alien environment while bridging the gap through an act of service that creates intimacy in conversation with high authenticity. This can be seen in my cursor shifts as Zaki worked as a receptionist in a Jewish hotel, and with the help of an unmanned camera, she managed to capture and present their cultural beliefs through conversations. And in Woman in Sync, Zaki works in a salon and engaged clients with conversation that address the conflicts between Arabics and Jews while giving them a hair washing service. The same applies to natural born settlers as the communication and trust is built around the coffee table that allows an open atmosphere for discussion. The relationship between style, content, and mode of the documentary highlights the truthfulness of the individual characters, as the documentary did not seek to emphasize on anyone's opinion. Rather, it presents the characters as they are. To explain, the content of the documentary revolves around a sensitive issue. Therefore, it is easy to approach such topic as a spectator without putting oneself at risk. This could have totally redirected the documentary into expository or offer observational mode. However, Saki's style of valuing personal relationship and openness in conversation has caused her to approach the content through personal experience. And with the help of her abandoned camera technique, the characters are not obliged to perform before the cameras, but simply express themselves through dialogues. And this has become the documentary Natural Born Settlers.